So I just came back from the theater and I finally watched Fantastic Four. Man, what a film. I just gotta say, what a film. Now, the previous Fantastic Four movies, I didn't like them at all because a lot of the things weren't comic accurate. I mean, the last time we saw Galactus, he was like a mushroom cloud and it just killed the vibe for me, okay? I just didn't like them. Now, let's talk about this film, Fantastic Four, The First Step. Now, what I liked about this movie was the fact that they finally got them comic accurate suits, and I loved Johnny Storm's suit design. I wish I was able to make that into like a t-shirt or something, but unfortunately, it's not gonna happen in Bangladesh because of some technical mumbo jumbo. But moving on, this is probably the best version of Johnny Blaze that I have ever seen. Honestly, this guy killed it. He was smart. He was very, how do I say, ahead of his game. He was always using his brain, and also he got the charm. And I gotta say, that kind of like threw me off guard because I didn't really expect this from Johnny, because in the past he was like this playboy type character, but he does kind of have that in him, but he's also like super smart, and this kind of separates him from the other movies, and this is just awesome. And I loved how they evolved Sue Storm's abilities from just being an invisible woman to like having this power of force field or whatever, and this kind of work. And a lot of people were kind of disappointed with the way the thing was presented, but honestly, I just watched the movie, and for me, it was good. I loved it. Like the thing had his moments, and it was good. And now, speaking of Mr. Fantastic, he didn't really like get a lot of action scenes, but we finally got to see like this super smart Reed Richard, and I loved how he tried to defeat his villains through science rather than just punching everyone that he sees. But I gotta say, he probably got he's probably my least favorite character for some reason. I can't really put my finger on it. Maybe because he didn't really have enough moments, or maybe it's because he didn't really have like super powerful fights in the third act of the movie. But then again, yeah, it was cool. I liked it. I'm not gonna say he was trash. He was good. I liked him as the character that he is. And finally, we got Franklin Richards. And I thought that Franklin is gonna take a lot of screen time, but apparently he was there in a, I don't know, like first 15 minutes of the movie or something like that, which was very cool, by the way. And I loved how they skipped over the origin story, blah blah blah. They went to space, blah blah blah. They're super powerful and superheroes. I like that because a lot of the time the superhero origins part kind of like kills the runtime of the movies, and putting that aside, we kind of have more time to build up our villains and also our heroes. And I gotta say, the female Silver Surfer, a lot of people were hating her, but from my perspective, I think she did a pretty fine job, and they kind of had a little moment for her backstory, and I think that little moment was enough. Now, we all know that Galactus is gonna be back in one way or the other in future films. So for me, the movie gets like a 7 out of 10. I would have rated it higher. The VFX and everything is perfect, but I don't know. I wish I had more emotional moments. But then again, 7 is not a bad number, and I really loved this movie, and I'm telling you this by the heart. And if you watch the end credit scene, then you know that MCU is finally going in the right direction. There is no directionless movies, especially with what happened with Kang being cancelled and all that. Now we got a new big bad, and wow, 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 MCU is back. What can I say? So anyways, this was my short review of the movie. Check out my Patreon, and if you haven't, please subscribe to my channel. I had a good time with this movie, and what about you guys? Let's have a chat in the comments.